Hello students, in the previous video we have discussed about the depression in freezing point. Now today we will discuss the next and the last colligative property, that is osmotic pressure. So today our topic of discussion is osmosis and osmotic pressure. Now osmotic pressure is a colligative property. Before we discuss the osmotic pressure, let us study what is osmosis. Now osmosis is a phenomena first studied by Abbe Knowledge in 1748. Now let us consider for this diagram. This is the process of osmosis and the measurement of osmotic pressure in a Thissell funnel. Now let us consider an aqueous solution of sugar placed in an inverted Thissell funnel. This is the Thissell funnel and having a semi-permeable membrane attached to its bottom. This is the bottom of the Thissell funnel, and to the bottom there is attached a semi-permeable membrane. The semi-permeable membrane is such that it allows the molecules of solvent to pass through it and not the molecules of solute. Here we have sugar solution, aqueous solution of sugar means we have water as a solvent and sugar particles as solute. Now the semi-permeable membrane will allow the passage of water molecules but not the passage of sugar molecules. Now this Thissell funnel containing sugar solution is lowered in a beaker containing water. So this is a beaker which contains water and the Thissell funnel containing sugar solution is lowered in it. There will be movement of water molecules. Water molecule will move from beaker to inside the Thissell funnel through semi-permeable membrane. Now when the water molecule goes inside the Thissell funnel, there will be a rise in the level of water in the neck of the Thissell funnel. This is the initial state when this Thissell funnel having a sugar solution and a semi-permeable membrane is lowered in the beaker containing water, and this is the final stage where you can see that the level of water molecule rises in the neck of the Thissell funnel. This movement of water molecules from pure solvent to the solution through semi-permeable membrane is called as osmosis. Osmosis, it is the phenomena of movement of solvent molecules from pure solvent to solution through semi permeable membrane. Now if there is a solvent and pure solvent and solution, the movement is from pure solvent to solution. Now if there is a less concentrated solution and more concentrated solution separated by a semi-permeable membrane, then the movement is from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. So another definition of osmosis is the phenomena of movement of solvent molecules from less concentrated solution to more concentrated solution. Here less concentrated means less solute concentration, and more concentrated means more solute concentration through semi permeable membrane. Now we will try to find out the difference between osmosis and diffusion. So difference between osmosis and diffusion. So here on one side we have osmosis and on the side diffusion. Let's compare the diffusion and osmosis. Very major point, osmosis takes place through semi permeable membrane. In diffusion, no semi permeable membrane is required. Now osmosis involves movement of solvent molecules only. Diffusion, both solute and solvent molecules can move. Third point, here the movement is from low concentration to high concentration, low solute concentration to high solute concentration. Here movement is from high concentration, high solute concentration to low solute concentration. Now next comparison between osmosis and diffusion is that osmosis is limited to solutions only, liquid solutions only. Now diffusion, it is common in liquids as well as gases. And very important difference between diffusion and osmosis is that osmosis can be stopped. Or reversed. But diffusion, it cannot be stopped or reversed. These are the points of comparison between diffusion and osmosis. Now we will study about the osmotic pressure. Now we have studied that when an aqueous solution of sugar is placed in an inverted Thissell funnel, this is again I am showing you the experiment, that is inverted Thissell funnel separated from pure water through a semi-permeable membrane, there will be osmosis of water molecules into the sugar solution. So water molecules are going inside the sugar solution through semi-permeable membrane, as a result of which the water in this column of the Thissell funnel rises, and an additional hydrostatic pressure will be exerted on the solution. That additional, when the water rises in this column, there is an additional pressure, that is P is equal to H dg. H is the height, d is the density of the solution, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. The pressure is, hydrostatic pressure is H dg, Now the hydrostatic pressure tends to oppose the inflow of the solution into the solvent into the solution. So there will be inflow of water through semi-permeable membrane due to the process of osmosis, and this hydrostatic pressure, it opposes this process of osmosis, and a stage will reach when this rise in the mercury column stops. At this stage, the hydrostatic pressure of the liquid is exactly balanced by the tendency of the liquid to pass through the semi-permeable membrane. So there will be no more osmosis taking place. So the equilibrium hydrostatic pressure on the solution due to osmosis of pure solvent into its is a measure of its osmotic pressure. So I will write down osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is the equilibrium hydrostatic pressure on the solution due to osmosis of pure solvent into it is a measure of its osmotic pressure. We can also demonstrate the concept of osmotic pressure through this diagram. So demonstration of concept of osmotic pressure. Now consider two vessels. These are the two vessels connected by a semi-permeable membrane. This is the semi-permeable membrane, and these two compartments are fitted with the watertight frictionless piston. There is piston this and piston this. These pistons are watertight, frictionless, weightless piston. Now let's just take a sugar solution in one compartment. This compartment contains solution, sugar solution, and pure water in the another compartment. There is a solvent in this solution, and the two compartments are separated by semi-permeable membrane. Now as a result of the when the two they are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, there will be a movement of solvent molecule. Solvent molecule will move from solvent side to this solution side, and as a result the piston on the solution side will rise more outwards. This piston will rise towards outwards. Now if we want to stop this movement of water molecule, we have to apply some pressure on this side. Now the pressure which is just sufficient to stop the process of osmosis is called as osmotic pressure. Now there is a pressure on this side, there is a pressure on this side, this pressure and this pressure. Now there is a process of osmosis taking place, so the piston will move outwards. Now we have to apply some extra pressure, that is equal to pi. When we apply the pressure pi, the movement of piston outwards stops, and when the movement of piston stops, that means the movement of solvent molecule from this compartment to this compartment through semi-permeable membrane will also stop. So there will be no osmosis taking place. Now the pressure which is applied here to stop the process of osmosis is called as osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, the excess pressure which must be applied to a solution to prevent the passage of solvent into it through semi permeable membrane is called as osmotic pressure, or simply the pressure which is applied to stop the process of osmosis is called as osmotic pressure. Now osmotic pressure, it is denoted by pi. Osmotic pressure always denoted by pi. Now it is a colligative property. Colligative property means those property which depends upon the concentration of solute. Now Van Hoff, a scientist, in 1887 gives the relation pi is equal to CRT, where C is the concentration in terms of moles per liter, C is molarity, R is universal gas constant, and T is temperature in absolute scale. Now when R and T are constant, temperature is constant, R is already constant, then pi is proportional to C. So this pi is proportional to, depends upon the solute concentration or depends upon molarity, hence pi is a colligative property. Next is determination of molar mass of solute from osmotic pressure. Determination of molar mass of solute from osmotic pressure. Now from Van Hoff equation we know that pi is equal to CRT, where C is molarity. Molarity is number of moles of solute upon volume of solution in liters. This is equal to NB upon V. V is the volume, N is the number of moles of solute, and NB, number of moles of solute, is equal to WB upon MB, where WB is mass of solute in grams upon MB is molar mass. Now substituting this value of WB upon MB over here, C becomes equal to, C is equal to what? WB upon MB into V. Now substituting this value of C in this relation, pi is equal to CRT, we have pi is equal to WB upon MBV into RT. Rearranging this equation for molar mass of solute, MB is equal to WB RT upon pi V. Using this relation we can calculate the molar mass of solute. Now there are certain conditions for getting the accurate value of molar mass. These conditions are, first condition is that the solute must be non-volatile. Second, the solution should be dilute. And the third condition, the solute must not undergo association or dissociation. Next topic is biological significance of osmosis. Biological significance of osmosis. Now, the absorption of water by plants from the soil through the root and its movement to the different parts of the plants is due to the process of osmosis. So, first important significance is that absorption of water by plants from the soil through the roots is due by the process of osmosis. Now, second biological importance is that when a cell comes in contact with water or some other dilute solution whose osmotic pressure is less than that of cell sap. Now, there will be a tendency of the water to enter through the cell membrane. This causes the swelling up or rupture of the cell, and it is called as hemolysis. Suppose there is a cell. Now, when it comes in a contact with the medium, the concentration of medium is less, it is more dilute, or suppose it is pure water and their concentration of solute inside the cell is more, then the cell membrane is a semi-permeable membrane and the water tends to enter through the cell, and as a result of this the cell gets swell up and eventually bursts, and this process is called as hemolysis. And also the process of flowing from water from outside to inside, it is also called as endosmosis. Now, in the opposite view, suppose there is a cell which is placed in a medium where the concentration is high in the medium, so and concentration inside the cell sap is less, so water will move out. As a result, the cell will shrink, and this is called as plasmolysis. And as the water molecule is moving outside the cell, it is also called as exosmosis. Now we can understand with the help of the diagram. This is the cell. It is placed in a medium where the outside concentration is less, so water molecule is moving inside. As a result, the cell is swells up, and this is called a hemolysis, and eventually the cell can burst. Now here, when the same cell is placed in a medium where the outer concentration is high, the solvent molecule, water molecule will move outside the cell. As a result of this, the cell will shrink. This is called as plasmolysis or exosmosis. The next topic is isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic solutions. Now we know that the different solutions have different vapor pressure. Consequently, their osmotic pressure must also be different. When two such solutions are separated by semi-permeable membrane, suppose we have two solutions, this is solution 1, this is solution 2, and they are separated by semi-permeable membrane. Suppose here there is a less solute concentration, here there is more solute concentration, so solvent molecule will move from less concentration to more concentration, and this process will continue until both the solutions will have the same osmotic pressure, when the osmotic pressure of both the solutions become same, there will be no further osmosis, and such solutions are called as isotonic solutions. Isotonic solutions. The solutions having same osmotic pressures at the same temperature. Now, actually, when the osmotic pressure on both the sides remains same, the osmosis does not stop, but the movement of solvent molecule from this side to this side and this side to this side, opposing sides, they become equal and equilibrium is reached. So there will be, it appears that there is no movement of solvent molecule taking place, and such solutions are called as isotonic solution. Now, if a solution has more osmotic pressure than other solution, it is called as hypertonic. When before the isotonic solution stage is reached, this solution has more concentration and more osmotic pressure, and this is called as hypertonic solution. On the other hand, the solution having less atmospheric pressure is called as hypotonic, which has less concentration and less atmospheric pressure. It is called as hypotonic solution. We can explain it with the example of the saline. Now there is 0.91% mass by volume. Solution of NaCl is isotonic with the fluids inside the body cells, for example RBCs, red blood corpuscles. Now therefore medicines are mixed in 0.91% saline before they are injected in the veins. Now pure sodium chloride, if its concentration is less than 0.91%, suppose there is a medium and we have an RBC. Now what happens here? It is placed in a medium where the concentration is less than 0.91%. So their water molecule is more in this side. So this is again a hypotonic solution, and the water molecule goes inside, and ultimately what happens? The size of the RBC becomes large and it will burst. On the other hand, if this RBC cell is placed in a medium where the concentration is more than 0.91%, then here the salt concentration is more, so water molecule will move out. As a result, the RBC will shrink. This is hypertonic solution. So we can explain with the help of diagram. This is the cells of RBC. Now you see this is isotonic, means outside this the concentration is 0.91% sodium chloride solution, and when RBC is placed it is well shaped. Now when it is placed in a hypotonic solutions, what happens? The concentration outside this is less than 0.91%, then what happens? The water molecule goes inside the cell. As a result, the cell will swell up and ultimately get ruptured. This cell is getting ruptured. Now on the other hand, when it is placed in hypertonic medium, means the outside concentration is more, the water molecules will move out through the semi-permeable cell membrane. As a result, the RBC will get shrinked. So these are the three types of solutions: isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic solutions. Next topic is reverse osmosis. Also called as RO. It is used for desalination of water. You must have RO machine in your kitchens which purifies the water. RO stands for reverse osmosis. The process of osmosis can be reversed if a pressure larger than the atmospheric pressure is applied on the solution. So let us take, with the help of this example, we have studied the demonstration of concept of osmotic pressure. Now here what happens when the solvent and solution, they are separated by semi-permeable membrane. The solvent moves from this side to solvent side to solution side. As a result, this piston moves upwards. Now we apply the pressure pi to stop the process of osmosis. Now in case we apply the pressure more than pi, then the process of osmosis not only stops but the reverse process starts. If we apply the pressure more than osmotic pressure, then the water molecule starts moving from solution to the solvent side, and this process is called as reverse osmosis. Now it is used for the purification of saline water to get the drinking water. Now this is the process of reverse osmosis, purification of sea water by reverse osmosis. Again here there are two chambers. Now this is the pure water, this is semi-permeable membrane, and on other side there is a piston, pressure piston, and this is the inlet for sea water. Sea water is inlet, there is a valve, it checks the backward movement of water, and when we apply the pressure which is more than atmospheric pressure, then the water molecules start moving from solution side to the solvent side. So in this case we get pure water from saline water, and this process is called as reverse osmosis. It is used for the purification of or desalination of sea water to get pure drinking water. Now this is about the process of osmosis and osmotic pressure. In the next video we will study about the abnormal molar mass. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.